Josh, how's it feeling? Is it starting to feel a bit more real now you're in camp?
All right, mate. Yeah, absolutely. It's been brilliant so far. I've absolutely loved it. Yeah, it's been so enjoyable. We've had our first day training now, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It really helps to have some nice weather. All the boys' smiles on faces, and it's been class. The first couple of hours here.
It's obviously going to be a different camp with the restrictions and a different tour. I wonder, have you talked as a group about that and how you manage it and how you make sure that COVID doesn't impact on you guys too much?
Of course, yeah. We've been having briefings, chats about our COVID sort of restrictions within our bubble. But at the end of the day, if everyone abides by the rules that are in place within our bubble, then we should be all good. There's obviously an element of it where sometimes it can't be helped, of course. But as long as you stick to the procedures that are in place, we should be all fine.
Yeah. We're not clear. It's difficult, isn't it? You guys are going to have to be on your game, aren't you?
I think everyone hopes that we are coming out of it. I think everybody would agree that it has been a long time. But yeah, look, we have to be careful. We have to be diligent in what we do. We can only control things within our sort of bubble, if you like. And as I said, the protocols and procedures we got in place, as long as we stick to them, then we should be fine for the duration of the time.
And have you got any plans for team bonding over the next couple of weeks? Obviously the Euros are going on, so that will provide some entertainment.
Yeah, we've had the Euros on in the team room on the big screen. All the boys watching their teams. Look, I'm sure the entertainment committee have got a few things lined up for us. We haven't touched on exactly what yet, but I know for a fact that they have got a few things planned for us. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they are, to be honest.
Friday might be interesting, England, Scotland.
When's that? Sorry, Wednesday?
Friday.
I know, Wales, Turkey Wednesday, innit? Sorry.
You're not interested, eh?
No, well, I'm sure that game will be on without a doubt, and the boys will have some banter about that, I'm sure.
And just finally from me, on a more serious note, but also in line with the Euros, the Christian Eriksen incident on the weekend, as a professional sportsman, did that sort of just, I don't know, how do you feel seeing that? Did that just rely on...
Mate, it was. I was watching the game live. It was awful. You had a real horrible feeling when something like that happens. Just so unexpectedly as well. But like the medics there, they done an absolutely fantastic job there, and it could have been a different situation without them acting so quickly. And in this camp with us in the Lions, we've got an unbelievable group of medics, and as a playing squad, we've got full trust in them that whatever sort of injury, whatever happens to us, that they're going to look after us in the best possible way.
Yeah, we from the outside view you guys as supremely fit.
Yeah.
Do you have scans or do you have checks on these sorts of things?
Yeah, well, I'd say every one of us at the beginning of the season, maybe even halfway through the season as well, we all go through a cardiac screening just to check everything over. I'm pretty sure 100% of the playing squad would have them screenings done at the beginning and possibly in the middle of the season as well.
Josh, thanks for your time. Good to see you.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Hi, Josh. Nick Heath here from TalkSport. How are you?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, really good, thanks. If I can take you back a few weeks, perhaps to that moment of selection. I know your fiancée George is expecting and due in July.
Yeah.
Just tell us about the sort of conversations, decisions around that, and the moment that, I guess your name came out of the hat fairly early.
Yeah, well, we was watching it together in the living room actually when it was announced, and obviously instant reaction. We were both up in the air, well happy. I was telling her not to jump too much because of the baby, obviously. But no, we were obviously both delighted, and we'd already had the conversations by that point. Everything had been sorted by that point. So I think it was just more of an anxious wait whether to see if I was going to be named or not.
And in terms of what the Lions have ahead of them, Wales pushed South Africa so close in that Rugby World Cup semi-final. The Springboks famously haven't played since.
Yeah.
You scored in that game. Do the Springboks generate any fear in terms of taking them on?
Well, look, they're the current world champions at the end of the day. They're a fantastic team. Whether they've played for 12 months or not, or however many months they haven't played for, I know they're going to have a couple of warm-up games. So I'm sure they'll be up and ready for the test when it comes about. And it's a massive challenge taking the world champions on in their back garden, and it's a challenge we're all looking forward to, coaches, players, and backroom staff.
The back three squad mates you've got, Reece Samet, Liam Williams, Stuart Hogg, Anthony Watson, Elliot Daly, Johan van der Merwe. I mean, that's some spicy competition, isn't it? How are you getting to grips with it already?
It's brilliant. So obviously I would have never have trained or anything with them boys before, but they're all fantastic guys. We've all got on really, really well so far. We've had a laugh with each other as like a little mini units, if you like. And the training session today, we're all doing extras with each other at the end, just pushing each other. If we can help each other out in any way, if one of the boys has worked with any of the coaches before and he knows what the coaches want or what to expect, they're always there to sort of give you the heads up. So it's been brilliant so far, and I'm sure that will continue for the duration of the tour.
And then sort of off field as well. I mean, bearing in mind we've had a year of getting used to these kind of COVID bubbles, keeping people entertained, understanding how things will be behind closed doors. Are various people already coming into camp with ways as to how you guys are going to maintain a bit of sanity off the field, given how tight these restrictions may need to be?
Yeah, look, there's obviously ways about it. As I said previously, the entertainment committee have got a really tough job on their hands, but I'm sure them boys will come up with some interesting stuff for us to do over here in Jersey and as well out there in South Africa. So I look forward to seeing where they are. But like I said, as long as we stick to the restrictions that we have in place within our bubble, we'll all be fine.
And just the last one from me, the matches obviously in South Africa will be behind closed doors, no crowds as we expect currently. With these tour bubbles, with COVID restrictions, has it changed the perception or any of the excitement around the prospects of this British and Irish Lions at all?
Absolutely not for me, and I speak on behalf of all the players, I think, as well. Representing the Lions, whether it's during a pandemic or not, you're representing the Lions. The end goal is exactly the same, whether it's full crowds or no crowds. We're there to win a test series with a packed house or with nobody in the stands. It doesn't change. My excitement, I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait to get out on the training field tomorrow again. I've enjoyed myself so much since I've joined up, and I'm sure that excitement will grow as the tour goes on.
Lovely. Thanks, Josh.
Hey Josh, Betty from TV Wales, you're right.
Hi, are you okay?
Great to see you in a British and Irish Lions shirt. Now when I spoke to Sam Warburton, he said the first time he got out the kit bag and saw that crest, it was just an unbelievable feeling. Can you explain how it's felt the last few days, getting all the stash and all that?
It is. He's right there. It is special, and I think when you join up as a squad for the first time a couple of weeks ago in the Lensbury, if you've never been part of a Lions squad before, you often hear people say like it feels special, it feels different to what you've experienced before, and they're 100% right. It's difficult for me to explain or describe the actual feeling, but when you sit in that room with these world-class players all around you, knowing that we're all coming together for that one goal at the end, there is something special about it, and it is really something that brings everybody together. And yeah, like I said, I've been so happy since I've come into camp, and I'm just enjoying every minute.
Well, you look really happy, and it's mad to think, only a few months ago you were competing for Six Nations against each other, but equally, it's that special bond, isn't it? That you can't really explain. You're saying.
Absolutely, Obviously, playing against the guys from the other nations, you just know them as rugby players. You do your analysis on them, you review them, and you just know them as rugby players. But when you come into a Lions environment, then you get to know them more as a person, as a human being, and you know, everyone's been brilliant, and everyone buys into the fact that we've got to come together, that we've got to make an effort with each other, we've got to come together as a team, because ultimately that's what's going to win us the series.
Before this, who were you most looking forward to playing from the other nations? Who's the one like, oh yeah, I'd love to play with him?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think probably maybe someone like Stuart Hogg from Scotland. He's got a bit of X factor about him, isn't he? Like, he always makes the odd break here and there from the back, and I think he's an exciting player that you could sort of pick up a couple of tries off by just floating round him and maybe getting on his shoulder.
Well, listen, I'm glad you mentioned Stuart Hogg, because I was going to say you've had a fresh new cut there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not bleached blonde. Still Foden. Stuart Hogg was my main man to do that, but is there anyone with any crazy hair, or are we all going a bit serious?
Well, I knew I was going to be away for 8 weeks with no barber, so I thought I may as well go as short as I can to try and leave it grow out a bit. So that's the reason behind it. Well, good question. Hamish Watson's got a pretty mad mullet, to be fair to him. Maybe if he bleach blonded that mullet, it would be pretty cool.
And listen, last question on me. How is Louis getting on with the Lion looking after? Is he doing a good job with that?
Yes, he's done really well so far. It hasn't left his side. I'm waiting to see whether they can keep it up for the full 8 weeks, because I know there's a few boys got a keen eye on it, maybe to hide it here or there. So we'll see. But he's done really well with it so far. Fair play to him.
Listen, it's great to speak to you, and I'll look forward to the next few weeks.
Thank you, and you.
Hi Josh, just the one from me. The World Cup semi-final's been touched on already. Do you carry that day with you? Does that motivate you going into this test series, or have you kind of let that go now?
Yeah, there's obviously a little bit of motivation about it. For myself, from my point of view, you know, we came agonisingly close, kick in the last couple of minutes. But then again, look, I'm in a different environment now. It's a different team, with new ideas coming from everybody. So you've got to park that and just take it as a fresh start, you know. And we look at it as a 3-test series now, as it is. So yeah, look, there's a bit of motivation personally, but I think as a collective, I think it's a fresh start.
Cheers, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Hello, mate.
Just wanted to ask, what's your sort of first memory of the Lions? When did the sort of Lions first sort of come into your consciousness, and you know, what sort of made it so special?
That's a good question. It'd either be 2005, maybe the odd memory from when they were in New Zealand, but more vividly 12 years ago when they were in South Africa. I can remember one of my good memories. I think it was a 3rd test. Ugo Monye interception, run the length of the field and scored. So probably 2009 against the Springboks was probably my first real vivid memory of the Lions playing.
Thanks.
Hi Josh, Kenneth here from BBC Wales. You okay, mate?
Hi, yeah. You alright, mate?
Just couple yn Gymraeg, if that's okay, Josh.
Okay.
Shwma pethau di bod, ti'n ers i ti bod mas yn Jersey, shwma pethau mynd?
Yeah, mae'n bod yn gwych. Mae Jersey yn lle hyfryd. Mae'r haul mas, so gobeithio gall yr haul aros am 10 diwrnod nesaf. Ond ni wedi bod yn marfer heddi. Fi wedi bod mas na gyda'r boys. Oedd e'n gwych i cael y sesiwn cyntaf mas y ffordd. A fi jyst yn edrych ymlaen i'r 10 diwrnod nesaf nawr, yn adeiladu mewn i'r gêm cyntaf.
Fi'n siŵr bod na gyffro, oherwydd dyma'r cam nesaf cyn bod chi'n mynd mas i dde Africa, wrth gwrs. Ond os chi'n teimlo'n nerfus yn ogystal, achos mae gymaint o gyfyngiadau, mae pethau mae'n rhaid i chi wneud tro yma, dyw e ddim yn mynd i fod fel taith arferol falle. Beth yw'r teimladau ynglyn â sefyllfa?
Mae Covid wedi rhoi challenge i gyd o'n ni, really. Mae am mynd i bod yn gwahanol, ond mae'n i gyd yn edrych ymlaen i'r daith. Mae'r gôl ar y diwedd y taith yn aros yr un peth os bod ni'n mynd mas yna heb Covid. Ni mas yna i ennill. A na beth ni'n adeiladu i nawr. A bydd y gêm penwythnos nesaf yn bwysig i ni adeiladu ar ymarfer ni'n mynd i wneud mas fan hyn yn Jersey a adeiladu mewn i'r gemau mas yn De Affrica cyn y 3 test.
Mae sefyllfa yn arbennig iawn i chi'n bersonol, yn ddiwe, hynny yw, chi wedi goffa ffarwelio ar teulu a'ch partner.
Ie, wrth gwrs.
Sy'n disgwyl. Mae'n gyfnod emosiynol iawn. Oedd na dimladau cymysg i ti'n bersonol, Josh?
Wrth gwrs, ie. Oedd e yn galed. Pryd ni'n mynd ar y awyren dydd Sul cyn dod draw fan hyn i Jersey. Oedd e yn galed i dweud goodbye i Georgia, ti'n gwybod. Ond ni wedi cael lot o sgwrsau cyn fy mas fan hyn. Mae hi wedi bod yn arbennig trwy'r y sefyllfa. Mae'r teulu fi a teulu hi wedi bod yn arbennig hefyd. So, mae fel support network arbennig o gwmpas fi. Mas fan hyn gyda'r boys, gyda'r hyfforddwyr, gyda'r backroom staff a nôl adre. So, fi'n ffodus iawn i cael teulu sy'n mor supportive.
Ys i'n ola wrtho fi, mae safon drwy gydol y garfan wrth gwrs. Yn sicr yn y safle ble ti'n ware, siwr mae'r ymarfer wedi bod o styried i chi gyd yn trio cael y lle yn y profion?
Wrth gwrs, ie, mae gyd yn ni moyn ware yn y test, ond mae spel i fynd cynna. Mae lot o gemau o flanu, mae lot o ymarfer o flanu, ond ni yn gweithio'n gag yn gilydd hyd yn oed hyn. Mae pawb yn pwysio each other os i moyn, a maen ni gyd yn moyn gwneud fel back three, ni moyn gwella fel unit.
Josh, diolch yn fawr, pob lwc i ti ar y daith.
Diolch yn fawr.
Cheers, boy. Thank you.
Hiya Josh, Megan yma heno, ti'n okay?
Helo.
Just quick question gyda fi, sut mae'n teimlo i gyrraedd yr garfan a gyrraedd efo'r sgwad?
Ie, mae dy bod yn arbennig. Hyd yn oed pryd ni wedi cyrraedd fan hyn dydd Sul. Fi'n enjoyo pob muned fi wedi bod yma a fi'n just really yn edrych ymlaen i'r wythnosau nesaf. Fi wedi cael dydd o'r ymarfer heddi, o'n i'n gwenu trwy'r dydd, oedd e'n just yn arbennig i bod mas yna gyda'r boys.
Be wyt ti'n edrych mlaen mwyaf i fod yn hanner llefod?
I just cwrdda boys newydd, ti'n gwybod, fel fi newydd dweud, fi wedi ware erbyn gyd o'r boys fan hyn, fi'n credu, ond fi'n nabod nhw fel chwaraewr rygbi, so fi'n really edrych ymlaen i nabod boys off y car a just cael bach o banter a i just gwneud ffrindiau newydd, really.
Gret, diolch.
Diolch yn fawr.